Okay, everyone. Starting the next video here. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe that every YouTuber on Earth has three responsibilities. Number one is to inform. Number two is to entertain. And number
Yeah.
three is to make funny thumbnails that get you to click on them. And hopefully, in this video, I'm going to accomplish all three of those things. We are currently in a
Pretty
series
sure you
where
are.
my viewers will randomly send me games, and I will take a look at them, and hopefully they will provide some serious content. Now, some of you have voiced disdain for this, that you think that the quality of the videos is low, and this isn't something that you want to watch all the time, and I'm hoping to counterbalance that by also uploading YouTube videos of my own Grandmaster training and so on. So, without further ado, say hello to Gotham Sub and our friend from Brazil. Both of these players are rated about 1100, and this
Buff
is how to
1100.
not play chess. E4. But actually, the first 15 moves are actually... You should play chess like this. E5.
Yeah.
Knight F3. Knight C6.
Notebook
Bishop
moves.
C4. And
Yes.
Bishop C5. Now, this is known as the Italian game. Here
It
there
is.
is a couple of different ways to play. In the Gambits course,
Tomorrow's stream will be about the same thing.
I recommend
I'm still starting out, so
sacrificing this pawn.
so I keep it simple. You know, I'll do some GeoGuessr to warm up. You know, and let viewers come in and whatnot, and then I'll do some React or some gaming. I'm thinking tomorrow I'll probably do some gaming after GeoGuessr. So yeah, tomorrow I'm either gonna play Fallout or Fortnite, one or the other. So we'll see for sure, cause I'll have more time tomorrow.
This is a pretty good gambit. B4 is the Evans gambit, and you deflect one of these pieces away from the center to play C3 and D4.
Yeah.
And that also brings me back to, that also brings me to C3 and D4, or C3 and D3. White just castles. This is very common at like 1,000, 1,100 to just castle. You don't really think about
I would castle in that place too.
Castling. And the way I like to play this position is delaying castling. It's kind of funny that the Gotham Sub played the position like me. Basically, if my opponent castles, I like to play H6 and G5. So I'll play H6 to prevent anything from coming to the G5 square, like the knight or the bishop. And then
that's pretty good.
Play G5 myself. Oftentimes I will castle queenside, and it's very nice to create an attack on a king that's like, here you go, yes, my king is over here.
Yeah, and that's actually really good. Something I need to watch out for myself when I play chess. It's tempting to castle early, but you know, if you can end up in a situation where your opponent plans how to attack your king, not that he's nestled in that little corner there. So far so good, right?
And all the bodyguards are over there. Please attack my king. Haha. I don't know why that's how the opponent sounds, but anyway, that's what I'm thinking. So, Bishop D2. Oh, I'm sorry. This is my hypothetical variation. H6, I'm just saying. H6, G5 is the way to play this. In the game, there was no G5, H6.
Oh, no?
But there was this.
Oh.
And now, what happens here is, this is very common at low level. If there's an opportunity to do exactly what your opponent did, it's going to happen. So here,
Bishop H5, yeah, that's how it happens.
H6, and Bishop H4. Now, for black, of course, should play G5.
They should.
This is just, it should be the first move that comes to mind, because you haven't castled your king yet. But black plays this move, which is not a bad move. Black is trying to not be pinned. What you really should do is try to go attack the pin. Don't just pin. Go attack the pin with moves like Knight D4. Or
yeah, that's right.
G5 here and G4. Like, this is a way of attacking the pin. This is actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, it puts pressure on your opponent, too.
G4 right away, maybe first Knight D4, but this is all very decent, because then white is going to be forced to open up the king. Black plays Queen D7, and now what white should do is take. Believe it or not, you should take. Why? Because there's no way to defend this pawn conveniently for black. Black is in trouble now.
Yeah, that's also true.
Both of these moves blunder Knight C7. Well, Queen E7 blunders Knight E7 in one move, and this blunders a fork. So the only way to defend is to go like this, and that's just depressing, which is the end of that calculation. At this level, about 1,000, 1,100, y'all gotta start going beyond that one move thing. You guys are gonna go, oh, well, if I take here, is that a fair trade? Okay, but that's not important. That's like beginner thought. Now, can I attack that weakness? Add a little bit of a layer to your calculation.
Yeah, that's true. In chess, you need to think a little. A mistake many beginners make is they don't plan ahead that far. You know, that they think of only where the board is right now, and they're not thinking about the next few moves. They focus on just that current turn, if you want to improve at chess, you'll need to start thinking a few moves ahead.
Here, white doesn't take on f6, but plays an equally scary move. And black responds with g5. I love this. Now black is in business. We have bishop g3 and long castle. I mean, here we go. This is great stuff. You can also consider playing g4
Yeah.
or knight d4. Again, attacking the pin.
We'll go start somewhere, Wolf.
Queen e2, and now is the perfect opportunity to attack the pin, because now it's just even worse, because you're actually attacking the queen straight up. And if you're wondering why this is so good, you're like, Levy, I don't understand how. So I'm still defending this. Look how fast the game can end. Take.
Yeah.
Take. There's queen h3.
And that's dangerous.
If I ever get to take this, it's just checkmate. Your queen has to protect. But it's worse than that, because there's some stuff hidden in this position. For example, this is pinned. Okay. Yeah. Look at this move.
Yeah, and being pinned means, in case you don't know what being pinned means, it means that this piece can't move because it'll expose the king. So essentially, that piece is pinned in place, in case you wonder what being pinned means. That's why this piece is stuck. He can't move because he'll expose the king if he moves.
Queen takes g3. I mean, it's bad. This is very bad news. It's not gonna. You can also launch your pawns. So you need to find a way in a lot of these positions to attack the pin, and black does that. Black plays the move g4. I love it, breaking this apart. Opposite side castling, opening up the file. Now, white plays bishop h3.
Brilliant.
This would have been the perfect example of danger levels, because here knight d4 attacks the knight and the queen, and this is over, completely over. Everything I just showed you. Takes, queen h3. This knight just gets ignored because we go for mate. Sorry, we have to sacrifice a horsey to get the jackpot.
Bye, horsey.
However, sometimes we are very scared in chess, and we try to play defense in positions where we don't necessarily have to.
That's true, sometimes. That's true, too.
Black obviously saw this and realized that this was also pinned. So if you play queen e7, that's obviously not very pleasant. You are pinning your knight to your queen.
Yeah.
It can't be any good. So rather than doing that, why not just lose the queen in one move? And the knight and the rook. Why would you pin the queen to the knight when you can lose the knight, and lose a rook? I mean, it's just common sense. You lose 17 points of pieces in 3 turns. And that's exactly what happens. And there you go. Aren't you glad you made it 5 minutes? Because now we're about to have the most beautiful game of chess ever.
Oh no.
White is going to play the rest of
what's
this
gonna happen
game
next?
like an absolute grandmaster. Converting, simplifying the game, avoiding danger to their own king, and calmly converting a victory and gaining the 7 to 12 rating points that they so truly deserve.
Oh no, what's gonna happen?
Knight to d5. Okay, this is not a great move. It's okay, everything is completely fine here for white. Literally, even losing the queen for free still allows white to have the advantage. It's a little bit of a hope move. Here you can guarantee that you get the bishop, right? Knight a4 guarantees the bishop will get taken. But okay, knight d5 is not bad. And what white needs to do is avoid trades as much as possible.
They really need to, yeah.
Avoid one move attacks and activate the knight. Probably the knight needs to come here, and the only way you're going to create counterplay is to play solidly, play quickly, especially if it's a blitz game. Play solid, quick moves. Don't overthink. You're down a queen to rook. Should have thought before you lost all those pieces.
Exactly.
So bishop h3 ideas.
So what does he do?
Kind of what happens. Great move by white, and just snap the bishop. How is white going to play this? Well, white needs to get to the king. You see, there's a lot of pawns on the board, and when there's a lot of pawns on the board, you need to remove the pawns off the board so that there's less pawns on the board, so that the board opens up, so that your pieces can move down the board, and they can attack the enemy king.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. So what does he do?
So pawn to a4. Bishop h3. I like this move, but of course, white really is not afraid and should play g3. This is just what I would do. You don't care about the rook. It's called relative value. Right now, this rook is not worth 5 points. Because the queen just is the best piece on the board by far. So you're not like, oh no, that's 5 and I only get 3. Yeah, but I have no pieces left, right? So you should probably play g3. But okay, king h2 is not a bad move. And now I like that black realizes that this just loses the bishop, and this is just the one mover. Don't play one movers. Because after this, now what?
Yeah. So I like his videos. He explains it very well.
And what? Stop arguing with me. So bishop g2 is just not a good move, so you go back. I like it. a5. Here black is very brave, moving the king directly into the line of assault of where the rook is about to end up. This is great board division by white. I love this. d4. Look at that. That
That's terrible. Oh
is
my gosh.
excellent. Look at this move. I love that. Honestly, great move. Knight e6. And, black has made some serious progress here, creating counterplay. The bishop and the knight are active. The rook is about to open up. It's
About
mate
to,
e5
yeah.
for white.
Finally. That's what's about to happen.
Make no mistake. It's white is winning by a lot. It's not close. It's like really not close at all. But how does white win this? So white decides to go danger levels, right? Trying fancy. Even though white is not a subscriber, white's just an individual, so I don't know. But here, what you should do is bring the queen.
See you. I think that's why he does move the queen, right? I think he's about to explain it.
This is very important. In positions where you're winning, as long as there's no immediate danger that would force you to react, you can play moves like queen b5, which prevent escape. Anytime you king hunt, you need to just keep in mind where the king wants to go. And if you have a moment to just shut it down, you're just going to win the game.
Yeah,
play queen b5,
that's true.
And the queen gets to e8. But the way white did this, white started getting all... Me need give check to win because maybe one of those checks will be made by accident. Why do you need an accident? You've played 29 good moves. What? God is not just going to bestow upon you a victory. You've earned it. All right? So rook a8 here.
What
check,
are you doing?
Here, check. White is like, how many checks in a row can I give before I... And by the way, here it's mate in 4, but it's mate in 4 if you don't give a check. It's a really funny move here. The threat of that move is... Queen e8 mate.
Yeah, that's a problem with some beginners do. They overthink it. They start chasing checks instead of planning a checkmate. Which is a common mistake many beginners make. They start chasing. If the pawn moves there, the king can't move. Because, here is guarded by the pawn, and the queen moves down here, the king has nowhere to escape to. It is indeed mate. Yeah, the black king is stuck. He's lost in his position.
That's mate, because now the king is... and if pawn takes, then you have check. The king cannot get away. It's got to come back a move over here.
Yeah.
Now the rook suffocates it. The queen and the rook sandwich the king. But that's really difficult. So the queen gives the check. The king runs. Now you can play pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn is now check. But okay, another check and another check. You're like, I can check with the horse.
All he's doing is checking, isn't he?
There's no checks.
There was no check?
And you're like, there's no checks. All right, I gotta go knight f5. Knight f5 is a very good move. Attacks the rook and frees up queen h4. Like, this is how you go, my king is safe, surrounded by all these pieces. And you get mated. Actually, you get also mated with the knight, but 1000s don't know knights can go backwards, so they probably won't find this move. Queen h4 is mated in one move. Instead of that black...
That's another common beginner mistake. A lot of players forget that your pieces... the pawns can only move forward, so they apply that logic to the rest of the pieces. Sometimes they forget that pieces can move back, so they get into a bit of a blind spot. Yeah. Only pawns can't move backwards, but some players forget that. Well, chess is hard. Chess is hard. So sometimes they just don't know that. If you're starting from scratch with no one to teach you, how can you know, right? but if these are 1100s, they should at least know that. Sometimes you just make mistakes.
Now black is sort of forced into a situation where you can give a check. Certainly exciting. That's it. You can't give any more checks. And now brings the rook back. And here, white plays the luckiest move in chess history.
Oh boy.
Okay? White plays a move that is so accidentally smart. You know what white plays here? White plays the only move to almost hang mate. The only move. This is almost mate. I guarantee white thought this was mate and was like, why is the game not over? I can't move my king. Well, it turns out that the queen can sack for the rook. Or white is genius. White knew that black would be lured into giving this check, at which point white would sacrifice and say, I have 2 rooks and you have a knight. I don't know. I just report the moves as I see them. I did not ask the individual from Brazil what they thought, okay? Now rook g8. Rook g8 is an outstanding move. Teaming up the rooks like a little laser beam.
Yeah.
And it's a problem. And here there's another idea. Simplifying. Check. Just take the knight. sack the rook for the knight, you are left with a rook and 5 pawns versus a king and 6. If you cannot win rook and 5 pawns versus king and 6 pawns, maybe it's not the game for you. I don't know. Maybe you go circles that all move the same way. You know, I don't. Mahjong, Mancala, Solitaire, one of those games. You know, pinball on the old Windows systems. Okay, so anyway, king h5, and black doesn't really know what to do. Black thinks that they're getting mated. Our protagonist just repeats, gets hit with check, and it's like, all right. Now, the protagonist clearly has seen the Never Resign video, because at this point you're like, I'm so tilted, I'm going to hit the resign button. Why? It takes just as much effort to click through a move. Why would you click resign? So rook g7.
Yeah.
King h4, rook f7. Now black is cerebral. Black's like, oh, I don't have to shuffle back and forth. I'm off the g file. Here we go. King g4. Okay. All right, we in business now. Rook c7. I only got 4 pawns left. It's fine.
Yeah, it's gobble them up.
F pawn. Now, at this point, white is allowing a little bit more than they should. They maybe should guard this pawn so this pawn can't move. Maybe you play f6 because, like,
yeah, you should probably think about queening.
Asset in this position is your f pawn because it can become a queen.
Yeah.
A rook can't become a queen. Okay, it can't. All right.
It really can't.
To, like, remove its opportunities in life, but it just cannot do that. All right. Not even if it buys a jetpack. It's impossible. But the f pawn can still become a queen. So, rook c6, we don't need this. You can take all the pawns, but only if you're low on time. Only take all the pawns if you're low on time. That way, if you lose on time, it counts as a draw because there's insufficient checkmating material. Keep that in mind. I told you, if you make it this far on these videos, they're fun and all this chaotic, but good advice. So,
yeah, that's true. Well, it's okay. You don't have to worry about saying anything in chat. Even if you're just lurking, I absolutely appreciate it. Yeah, but this is hilarious. At this point, yeah, white should not be gobbling pawns. White should be focusing on queening this pawn here. Who knows what he's doing? I'm about to see what is about to happen.
King f2, and look at what black is doing, focusing on this. Now, at this point, you would think that white is like, oh, but I also have an f-pawn, and I'm faster because it's on the same... No, we're still gobbling. Still gobbling.
It's still gobbling.
We're still gobbling. Now, at this point, black is like... Oh, sorry, white is like, oh, I also have an f-pawn. I should obviously push my f-pawn.
Finally!
Because, like, why not? I also have an f-pawn. However, they clearly cannot count. Because if f1, if f7, f1, and by the way, f1 rook, because you need to bad manners them. Hold the alt key, and then f1 rook. It's mate. So that's not how the game ends. No, don't.
Oh
worry.
no.
White is not that stupid. Rook g6 check.
Okay.
And you need to give a check. You need to give a check because, for example, if king to h3 in this position, the only way to save this. By the way, you try to save this. Otherwise, it's just a draw, right? So how does white win?
How do
you prevent f1? You know? Rook g1. Look at this incredible move. That's a very creative move.
Oh.
You don't want to play it because you're like, meh, but then you win. Rook g1. But at this point, I'm sure that black is like, oh, look at me. King f3, I'm so smart. And,
oh no.
well, white has to play rook g1. And white doesn't find it.
Oh no.
It's not over. Because f1 check, king h2, and the game goes on. King h2 and the game goes on. Like, okay, I mean, it's not mate. Don't get the queen just to... So queen f2, king goes up again. There's no mate. I mean, you still got to work really hard.
You're still chasing checks.
It's not over. But you see, folks, that's where it's funny. Because after f1 queen, rook g1 was played.
Oh.
And it was, in fact, over. It was, in fact, over.
White was absolutely dominating this game, and they lost it at the last second because he played the right move at the wrong time. He should have played rook g1 back then, just like he said, yeah. There are many ways to lose at chess, but losing like this from two 1,100s. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, I can't breathe. That's hilarious. They played the right move at the completely wrong time, at the very very wrong time. Oh my gosh. Oh, Gotham Chess is hilarious. If you ever want to know how to play chess, you know, give the video a like, a watch. Check out his channel. He is absolutely hilarious. The way he explains chess and his How to Lose at Chess series, just pure comedy gold from this the absurd way people lose their games. Oh my gosh, I'm still laughing. That's pretty funny. A rook can never be a queen. Now if I turn the rook upside down. How to not play at chess. I don't think I need a tutorial for that. Levy says, how to not play at chess, and then proceeds to describe how I play chess. That's you guys, isn't it? Isn't it? Wolf and Pikachu's every time I played you guys. You guys just pure chaos. You never know what's happening on the board, do you, sometimes? Or it's still playing chess, just in a more unique and entertaining way. I'm still playing chess. Oh my gosh. Well, that's absolutely hilarious.